Hey yo, I'm the MMA loser and I'm back with another video. And today I want to talk about the upcoming match between Stephen Wonderboy Thompson and Laura Sanko's favorite fighter, Shavkat Nomad Rakhmanov. Now, this is going to be a featured bout of UFC 296, and it's I think it is a really weird fight in my opinion. It is kind of I don't know why Stephen Thompson is going to take this fight, but again, I kind of see his motivation as well. He wants to go for the title one last time, and on a good day, Stephen Thompson, even though he is 40 years old at this point of time, he's 40, guys. He's 40. I'm half his age, and I still look older than him somehow. No, I don't really look older than him. I look younger than him, but you get my point. The dude is 40 and he looks really young. But Stephen Thompson is probably on a two-fight winning streak, or maybe a one-fight winning streak. Yeah, he recently defeated, not exactly recently, but he last year defeated Kevin Holland, and there was an interesting fight. And prior to that, he lost to Bilal and Gilbert Burns, but before that, he defeated Jeff Neal and Vicente Luque. So Stephen Thompson still is in a position where he can defeat top contenders and also Kevin Holland. But he did lose to Gilbert Burns and Bilal. So the thing is, there is a pattern that we are seeing in Stephen Wonderboy Thompson's case. Wonderboy, his biggest weakness will be his grappling. Wonderboy, when it comes to striking, I still think Wonderboy might be the best striker in all of UFC, the best MMA striker. I know Izzy is there, I know Pereira is there, but they're fighting in divisions where most people are not exactly well rounded. And of course, there are other fighters who are good strikers as well, but Stephen Thompson has proven time and again that he can hang with the best when it comes to striking. If it is a simple striking, straight up striking match, then there are very few people. And I don't know if anybody has ever gotten into a fight with Stephen Thompson and just used their striking to win that fight. The only person that I can think of that comes to my mind is Darren Till, who's not even in UFC anymore. Both Gilbert Burns and Bilal, they're fairly young they're younger compared to Stephen Thompson, but still they had to use their grappling to win that fight. They could not strike with Wonderboy. Both of them tried to take Wonderboy down, and they were successful, and they just won by basically I don't know what that is called, grabbing onto Wonderboy for the entire duration of the fight, because they did not want to risk striking with Wonderboy. And Wonderboy has been knocked out only once in his entire career, and that was done by Anthony Pettis, which is really weird, right? Anthony Pettis defeating Wonderboy, knocking him out, even when he fought people like Tyron Woodley, and who else has he fought? He fought the former welterweight, was he a welterweight champion? I believe that guy who became really fat after the USADA thing, Johnny Hendricks. Yep. Stephen Thompson knocked out Johnny Hendricks, and he could not knock out Stephen Thompson. Tyron Woodley fought with Thompson twice, could not knock him out. But Anthony Pettis somehow found a way to knock him out. It is what it is. Things happen. But in this fight, I think Shavkat Rakhmanov will probably dominate in this fight just by controlling Wonderboy Thompson for 3 rounds exactly. But the interesting thing about Shavkat is he's a really, really scary person, and he, I think, might be the most talented competitor at welterweight. Welterweight is in a really interesting position right now. You've got a lot of undefeated fighters. We've got fighters who are not exactly undefeated, but Bilal is looking really good. Sean Brady, even though he's not undefeated, but in his last fight with Kelvin Gastelum last Sunday, was it this Sunday? No, 2 Sundays back, whatever. Brady looked really good. Brady looked better than what he has looked ever in his career. His striking has improved a lot, and in grappling, he was destroying Kelvin Gastelum. So welterweight is in a really good position, and Shavkat, I think, he is better than all of them. Maybe no, I don't know about how Shavkat does with Bilal and Gilbert, but still, Shavkat can hang with the best, and he's on a 100% finishing streak. He has finished all his 17 fights. And that is interesting. There are very few people who can say they have 100% finishing record, especially in welterweight. You might see a couple of fighters at heavyweight who finish all their opponents, but that is heavyweight. The skill requirement for heavyweight is much less than that of welterweight. But Shavkat has managed to do that. Shavkat has faced problems in the past, but that was only with Jeff Neal. But still, even in that fight, in the last round, I think it was in round 3, somehow Shavkat just found the way to defeat Jeff Neal. And I think it was round 3. Yeah, he choked him out, standing bulldog choke. Imagine Jeff Neal, one of the toughest fighters in UFC, someone who has one of the best boxing in UFC. Shavkat just stood next to him and choked him, just big brothered him. Just big brothered him and won by submission. And it was, even though Jeff Neal submitted, he tapped, yet he went out. Yep, he got choked unconscious by Shavkat Rakhmanov. That's how good Shavkat Rakhmanov is. I just can't say enough of him. But even in this fight, I think if we talk about striking, I mean, Shavkat is a good striker. He has power. But he keeps his head a little too open. He gets punched in his fights. Even in his fight with Jeff, he was getting punched. The thing is, if you try to keep your chin open, Wonderboy is going to land those kicks. He's going to land those kicks and those bleaching punches that he does. Even though Jeff Neal was, I think, a better boxer, but yet I think Wonderboy can cut better angles, and Wonderboy will see openings that Jeff Neal could not. And that's why I think Wonderboy can be dangerous for Shavkat. But if Shavkat is smart, which I think he is, and he has a finishing instinct, I think he can finish Wonderboy on the ground. It might be the first time Wonderboy gets finished in the ground. Shavkat can do it. I can see him doing that. I know if people like Gilbert and Bilal can take Wonderboy down, I think Shavkat can too as well. But the thing is, Shavkat is one of those fighters who wants to strike. I think if he just strikes with Wonderboy, it's going to be a long night for him. And I think Wonderboy can win a striking match. On any given day, if it is just a simple striking match, I think Wonderboy can win against anybody in the welterweight division. But if they mix in wrestling and grappling and jiu-jitsu and whatnot, I think then Wonderboy faces a lot of problem. And if Shavkat wants to do something in this fight, if he wants to win this fight decisively, then he needs to take Wonderboy down in the very first round and probably keep him on the ground for as long as possible and win by probably ground and pound, just by control time, and I don't know, somehow damage him, maybe submit him on the ground. He has the submission skills for sure. He also has the wrestling skills, and it's really weird. Shavkat doesn't look like as big as Khamzat, or he doesn't look as big as some of the other contenders, other big grapplers, like even Kamaru looks bigger than Shavkat. But Shavkat just has that ability to finish fights. 100% finishing rate is pretty crazy. I know people like Neil Magny are old and this and that, but hey, he still finished him. And Ian Gary could not finish Neil Magny. So what's that? Ian Gary. Wow, I'm just mispronouncing his name. Well, Gary's, everybody's talking about Gary being this and that. Well, he could not finish Neil Magny, and Neil Magny took that fight in short notice. And Neil Magny was really not in the right place with his mental state after all that Ian Gary said about him, right? But still, Ian Gary could not finish him, and Shavkat finished him I believe, in the second round. Shavkat just toyed with Neil Magny on the ground, and even Gary is fighting in that card. Look, if Shavkat manages to finish Wonderboy in a really, really good fashion, in a dominant manner, then I think he is going to get the next title shot. Because after Kobe and Leon, I don't think Leon is going to get a rematch. Honestly, he doesn't deserve a rematch. He defeated Kamaru. That's all right. If he loses against Kobe, he does not deserve a rematch. And if Kobe loses against Leon, I think Kobe should just retire. I don't see Kobe getting another title shot. He's already 35, 36 years old, whatever he is. I don't see Kobe getting another title shot. This is going to be the last chance, last opportunity that Kobe Covington is getting at a title shot. I like Kobe. I genuinely like him. He's just funny. He kind of brings some kind of excitement to this welterweight division just by talking a lot of crap, but I find it entertaining. Call me whatever you want. I'm not American, so it doesn't really bother me. But in this fight, like striking wise, I'll always say Wonderboy Thompson is a better striker. But grappling wise, Shavkat is a much, much, much better grappler than Wonderboy. And I do not see Wonderboy defending the takedowns from Shavkat, or the trips or the judo throws that he does. Has he done any judo throw? I think he has. He uses a body lock. Shavkat uses a lot of body lock to get his opponents to the ground, and then he goes for a guillotine. I think he might win this fight with some kind of submission or maybe a 3-round decision. So my final prediction for Wonderboy Thompson versus Shavkat Rakhmanov at UFC 296 is going to be Shavkat Rakhmanov either by a unanimous decision for 3 rounds, or he wins by some kind of a submission. Yep, that is going to be my final prediction. Shavkat Rakhmanov defeats Wonderboy Thompson by a submission or by unanimous decision, dominant unanimous decision. And I guess that's it, guys. And before I end this video, please subscribe to my channel. I've got very few subscribers. I want to get to 500 subscribers before the end of this year. And if you enjoyed the video, drop a like and share this video. And yes, peace out.